Welcome back to Girl Talk. As promised, we are going to tell you how to upgrade your home. And we're excited to have Kate Paulus, who's the designer here at Bella Domicile, where we have been spending a lot of fabulous time and, of course, interviews here today. So, Kate, so glad to have you on the show.
Yes, glad to be here.
Thanks for having us here. We love being here, so it's always
absolutely.
nice. And we love chatting with you because you know your stuff. And we're going to quiz you. We're going to get
Ready.
the 101 on countertops. But
Yes.
you guys here at Bella have so many ways that you can help homeowners to upgrade. So obviously countertops are one of those fabulous ways to do that.
Yeah, we have a lot of clients that just want to do a simple upgrade. Either they're ready to sell the home, they just moved in and they don't have a ton to put towards the house. So a couple options that we can do. One is just switch out your hardware. So your knobs and pulls, whether that be in your kitchen, throughout the house, the bathroom, it makes just a very easy transition, but still upgrading a little bit for the look, the aesthetic.
Yes, and oh my gosh, the options that you guys have. It's almost overwhelming, but in the best way, because if you have something really special in mind,
right,
there's something that you're going to find.
Hardware, we call it kind of the jewelry of the cabinetry. There's a lot to choose from. There's some great, more of that farmhouse pull. There's much more contemporary lines. So there's a whole different style of finishes.
I love that because I feel like that's something even I could do.
Yes, very easy, very easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, if you're upgrading your countertops,
yes,
what would you say are like the 3 best countertop materials?
Yeah, so regarding countertops, more so on the lower end, we go from laminate. Upgrades from there, you can go to a Quartz, which is a solid surface, and then we see majority of the time between granite and quartz. That's what people are contemplating with.
Yeah. Sure.
So granite and quartz, they're both natural stones. They vary in the fact that quartz is 93% natural, 7% man-made. So they take the rock, they break it down into fragments and mix a resin glue material with it to make it non-porous. So when you look at quartz, we have some beautiful samples here.
No, I kind of missed, what'd you say, it's what percentage man-made?
This is 93% natural, 7% man-made. So due to the fact that it is man-made, it's not going to stain.
Okay.
So granite, on the other hand,
I guess I didn't realize before you move on to granite that quartz had so much natural material. I thought maybe it was all man-made.
And that's, I think, a frequent misconception is someone comes in, they want 100% natural, so they want to go with the granite, and they're concerned that if they don't go with the granite, are they still going to get that natural stone appearance?
Right.
What we're seeing right now is people really want that kind of veining throughout.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Quartz was more like even throughout. You couldn't have that look, but that's quartz
and they definitely have that, it's more consistent throughout, but they have some that have great veining structures throughout it. So it's really, depending on the color and pattern that you want, it's great. We definitely do most quartz, I would say, just because it's a lower maintenance and it's non-porous.
Well, and you know, talking about who should have what kind of stone, we haven't even gotten to the others yet, but that might be a good option if you have kiddos because kids spill. Yeah, and they use markers, and they're not always careful.
Yeah, if you look at this granite if you look really closely, it has little fissures, little holes in it, and so especially like red wine, that's going to stain granite. Even water, when left on, if you're using it next to your sink, sometimes it's better to do quartz if you want something with a little less maintenance. You also, for granite, you have to put a sealant on it every 15 years and use a neutral pH cleaner with it, whereas quartz, you can just wipe it with soap and water or Windex.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, kind of a difference between that.
Yeah, I think that's nice to know maintenance-wise because people, I think, tend to just gravitate towards granite, like, oh, I want granite countertops. Right. You don't even think of necessarily it being a little bit more challenging in terms of maintenance. It sounds like you can put a sealant on, though, and help minimize some of that.
Yep, and 15 years it lasts. So you do have to have someone come in who's licensed professionally to put the sealant on it.
Oh, really?
You do. Yep, you can't do that yourself.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned, we were talking earlier about Dekton.
Dekton, yes.
What is that?
So Dekton is a brand new product. It's manufactured with inorganic materials. So what it is they take, the minerals go through a high pressure heat transfer, which affects their compound, their structure, and it makes this material. So it's just particles that are pressed together
It feels rougher.
Yeah, it feels a
sealant on
little
this?
rougher just because this is a matte version. So it's available in matte or the sheen. You can see the gloss difference.
You can feel the difference too.
Yep. Whereas granite, you're definitely going to have that high sheen. Dekton and Quartz, it's one where you can do the matte finish.
I kind of like the matte.
Yeah, matte's
Personally.
becoming really popular
It's
right
really
now.
pretty. The colors are a little bit more intense on the matte because there's
Yes.
like
Yep,
coating.
definitely.
Now, what is this? Is this also
This
Dekton?
is also Dekton. So
Okay.
Dekton comes in several different
Wow, I like that a lot.
different textures. So this is meant to look more like a wood grain.
Yeah.
And yet it's
Yep, it's durable. So truly Dekton is one of the materials that it's not going to be affected by thermal shock. So if you take a really hot pan and you put it on your natural stone, your granite or your quartz, it can easily crack. There's the chance of that. Dekton is one where it's very resistant to heat. And also it's UV stable, so you can use it for outdoor applications.
Well, I just learned which one I need. I need Dekton
Yes.
because I am absolutely guilty of taking things out of the oven and setting them on the counter.
Right.
Yeah.
No hot pads. And Dekton, it's pretty new. It's manufactured out in Spain in Cosentino, and we are one of the only bath and kitchen showrooms here in Madison that show it. And we just put it in a brand new kitchen.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
So you got to come check it out.
Talk to us a little bit really quick before we go about some of the price differences.
Yeah, so that's a good question. Truly, between quartz and granite, it's really going to be determinate by the pattern that you pick out, the color. So there's some really rare natural stones in granite that you can get that the price is going to increase versus quartz. But as a general rule, usually quartz is going to be a little bit more pricey.
Okay.
Okay, interesting.
and the Dekton.
And the Dekton is going to be kind of your top tier.
Sure.
I suppose being new and all.
I knew
too.
I had
Yeah.
expensive taste.
Yes.
Well, that's
You
all
and I
right.
both.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. Well, I learned a lot. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing some of those with us, Kate.
Of course.
Really pretty samples, and you guys know your stuff here, so we appreciate
Yeah,
you
I feel
sharing
like
that.
we could have a whole hour conversation.
I think so. Absolutely. Maybe we'll do that after we go.
At your home.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Girl Talk. I want to thank all of our guests for being here as well. Please tune in next time for Girl Talk.